So today we're talking about artificial intelligence, which is not the guy who ghosted you and then showed up 6 months later saying, I was just working on myself.
And it's definitely not the intelligent part of the last date I went on. It was like 20 years ago.
We brought in a ringer for this conversation, our friend Lisa.
Hello.
She's here to break down what AI is, what it isn't, and why our voices, especially women over 50, really need to be a part of the conversation. So, Lisa, what is AI? Take it away.
AI is basically, it's a computer system that's trained to mimic human intelligence. Okay. So it's a predictive device based on patterns, right? So there's different kinds. There's ChatGPT, there's Claude, there's Perplexity, there's Alt Grok, and it depends on the one that you want to use. I just suggest find one and get comfortable with it.
Are there different AIs for different tasks?
I mean, ChatGPT I use a lot, but you can use different ones. Some like Claude is more for people that write. There's ones like if you want to do more marketing, they all have their different strengths. If you want that Elon Musk sort of personality, you could turn
Wait.
towards Grok. But I mean, they all have their different energy basically,
Okay.
and different ways of doing it. So.
And is it something that, because I think a lot of people maybe don't know what it is. I mean, I certainly didn't until recently. Is it something that you have to put in like a word, a sentence, a thought? How much do you have to
Give it?
You need to command it. The more really the power of AI is in the strength of your commands. You have to describe to your ChatGPT or whatever device that you use. You have to create a scenario for them so they know what to do next, right? So I am an informed trauma therapist, this is what I think you should do here, or this is what I see. Or I am a master marketer and this is the business plan I want to give you. Or I'm a world-class travel expert. Here's what I recommend for your trip.
Would you tell it, act like you're a world-class travel expert?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's important to tell it what it is.
Yeah.
And what you need from it.
Yes. You can do it without doing that, but you're not going to get the best result.
Right.
Right.
So like an example,
so just like what Beth said, like you're a amazing award-winning sitcom writer. Write me a sitcom.
I love that.
So you have to put what you already are to get the best information.
Well, you're telling it that it is a best or an award-winning sitcom writer.
So
now that's who you are.
Role in a task.
Got it.
Role in a task.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to be specific.
Yes. Okay. The more specific you are, the more AI will delight you and surprise you. And obviously you have to make sure, like, if you're doing anything with writing or things like that, you want to make sure that it's accurate. I don't just rely on one, I'll go to another one. I noticed with Perplexity, I was using that today for the show, just kind of get familiar with that because I wasn't. It has a lot more references.
And that's the one for writers?
Yeah. Well, Claude is really good. Yeah. Yeah. But there, I love ChatGPT for writing myself, but
I do use
I do
ChatGPT.
love my ChatGPT
I know you both actually got me into ChatGPT because I didn't even know what it was. I'm going to be honest with you. And just a side note here, what it's helped me do is with my grammar, writing letters, and it has made a huge difference. I actually sound smart.
You are smart. I is smart. Repeat after me. I is smart.
I is smart. But you know what I'm saying? It helps you with the grammar. It's not my forte.
Right.
Spelling. It just tweaks it, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
So that people understand. So it's very helpful.
So it can be for the most basic of tasks. I've used it with recipes, like what is my shopping list for lasagna? And it'll give me a detailed shopping list,
That's a
right?
good way to use it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you can use it for something really simple, but I love it for feedback when I write.
Me too. Me too.
And I've been using the last 2 days, I've been using it a lot, getting its opinion
Mhm.
and what this means, what that means, and it's been very helpful.
Mm.
And
It's really
also that opinion is culled from, like you said,
Mm.
all of
The
all of
field.
the field of
The field.
intelligence.
It's
Literally.
interesting. It
Literally.
literally is
Yeah.
very, if you look at it, it has a spiritual metaphor for what's going on.
It totally
It does.
feels spiritual
It
to
is.
me. It feels like the one mind
Mhm.
because it is a collection of let's use a yellow truck.
Mhm.
Mhm.
If I were to ask it about a yellow truck, it's going to cull all the information it has about everybody who's ever talked about and put it in writing somewhere about a yellow truck. So I'm going to get all of those different opinions. There's people that love yellow trucks and there's some that think they're hideous and there's, some that have one, some that want one. So there's going to be all of these individual minds put into the one mind.
Mhm.
So tell me that's not spiritual.
It's very spiritual. And then you get to act as if. So we are as humans acting as if.
Yeah. It's
And
very
we
cool.
are as humans, we're talking about, I'm in a manifesting course this weekend, and we are acting as if in our real life. I mean, that's
Mhm.
what we're doing. And so
is.
this is another way of doing it, but
Yeah.
that might be getting outside of
Okay.
where
Yeah,
the
that's
listeners probably want to.
we tried this once before and we did go there.
Yes,
Exactly.
You never saw it.
you can take it on a spiritual
Yeah.
level, or you can use it for, I want to create a business plan.
I love it for those things.
Yeah.
I want
Yeah.
a simple text. Like I can write a good text, but sometimes like
Mhm.
I want another set of eyes. I have somebody that in my life that is struggling right now, and sometimes what I want to write is not necessarily I the right choice.
Mhm.
And
Right.
so I like to turn to that because it tends to give very beautiful like messages to this person that I
Yeah.
love. And
So that explains those texts
yeah,
I was
so
getting.
each of you are getting my AI
At 1:00 at morning.
but I will tell you it's interesting because I use it for posts too. I will say that when it's my post, it's responded to more. Like
Mhm.
when it is actually
Oh,
me.
yes.
So that's why you don't want to, from my perspective, you don't merely want to just consume. Yeah, it can write a great text. Yes, it can write a good article, a good poem for that matter. And that's fun just to play with it and get used to it. But the magic happens when you become more discerning about it. You look at it and you decide what version you want to use, and you put your own voice into it.
Yeah.
You should never just consume anything as it relates to AI.
That was gonna be my next
Yeah.
question is what is too much? Like, I think a lot of people, think that is it cheating? Is it me not writing?
Mhm.
And I don't think that's true.
Mhm.
Personally, if I'm writing a text and the spelling is off and the grammar's off, it doesn't make sense. Um, and let's say I wanna put it which is all the time.
I've never gotten one of those texts.
No? You haven't? Really? Um, it's a big thing for me.
Sarcasm.
If I put
There's
it
a
in
lot of that going on.
a chat GPS,
ChatGPT.
sorry, sorry, people, chat GPT,
Yes.
Right.
it will just make sense and not I don't sound a little, "Woo."
Yeah.
Right.
So therefore, I don't think that's cheating. I think it's
It's
just putting my thoughts kind of
it
No, it'd be different if you were writing a book and you
Right.
had ChatGPT write it and you claimed it as your thought.
right.
And to your point about your post that is 100% you versus one that you've had help with chat, getting more people see your because it's your authenticity.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to get
Yeah.
spiritual again, but
Yeah.
you're being authentically you. So I see ChatGPT as kind of like this thing that gets fed with
Information.
our information and our personalities, per se.
Mhm.
So the more I interact with mine and it knows references that I have inquired about, even if it's stupid stuff. Like, I use it to do promos on TikTok. Like, write me a 30-second script for XYZ product, and so I use it for that, but I also use it for this podcast. So it can remember it remembers everything. So I don't have to start the conversation over about, we want to do an episode on AI. Like, it already knows that we did one a while back. So I love that, but it's coming back because it doesn't have feeling. It's not sentient, right?
No, it's not. Well,
It sounds like it.
say that it isn't sentient.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't have feeling. It can only think like a human. But
So
it
you guys
isn't cheating.
Okay, that's my.
To answer your question, it isn't cheating. I think there's also a mindset like, if it's too easy, if it's too hard, if it's hard, then it's mine, right? If you think about it from that perspective, like you could,
that's deep.
It's pretty deep, actually. If you think
about it, that took a couple of beats. I'm like, oh wow.
We assume that when our work is hard, it is ours. So if it's too easy, it's not ours. There is another layer to that as it relates to AI, because it on many levels will make our lives easier.
Mm-hmm.
So what can we expand in? Yeah.
But we're programmed.
We're programmed to make
life
things
is hard.
Life is hard.
Interesting.
So this is a big thing right now. This is a big thing. Do I think that it's good that it could potentially take over everything? No. And so I think that's frightening. And that's why I want to make sure that people, everybody should get comfortable with it. Everybody should love up on it and get to know it. You love up on it, and also recognize that there are dangers with it. That
for sure.
Yeah, that's important.
It's my college professors are using AI for courses, and people are saying, I'm not going to take a course if AI is doing it.
Yeah.
So
why am I paying all this money?
I paying?
Oh my God, why am I going into permanent debt?
Imagine.
I heard, I don't mean to interrupt, but this is kind of something we're talking about. I just read that someone wants their money back for a semester in college because the teacher was not teaching. It was all through
AI, right?
I don't blame them. It's a lot of money.
So it's important for humanity to be a part of the conversation.
Yeah.
And this is a big thing, is AI is mostly men, mostly young men.
Good point.
So if our voices are not a part of this, if women are not a part of this space, and I think it's like 20% of the people involved in AI are women, and women over 40, no.
Non-existent.
We don't exist.
Yeah.
So our stories, our narrative, imagine I've read books, and when I read a book that's written in the female voice and it's a man, I'm sorry, it's a turnoff for me. And I'm sure that there's men that can write great stories about women, but it automatically just is a disconnect for me.
Yeah.
So
our voices
matter,
damn it.
Super important.
Well, I can just imagine. I'm the end of the boomers, right? So I'm a young boomer, right? I'm a cusp, like we talked about before. But I can imagine the people that are even 10 years older than me really, really struggling with this and not knowing how to use it, right? Yeah. And so there's a whole generation of older women whose voices aren't in it, basically, right? Because they don't know how to use it. So hopefully our demographic is 50 and up. So hopefully everybody that's watching this takes the plunge and plays around with it, because it's not going anywhere.
No. And you can use it for legacy. You can use it to pass on to your your grandchildren, your story. You can use it.
Beautiful way. Oh my God. Yeah, you could just tell your story into your ChatGPT. It saves it all.
Yeah.
What a beautiful thing for somebody to come across. Please don't check my ChatGPT. You don't want to know what I've been talking about.
I mean, I think it could potentially even be a business where you could have your.
That's what I think there's going to be.
Yeah. So there are a lot of opportunities with it. You know,
Mhm.
I would say it's the wild, wild west. Like this is the gold rush right now. There are a lot of people that are using it that are really monetizing. For me, it is overwhelming on some level to kind of absorb it at that level. But there are people making a lot of money, like
Mhm.
that have mini careers that they're making money just by using AI. I mean,
Can you give
oh, they have, like, side hustles, they're working one job, they have another job that they're working with a ChatGPT assistant doing. I mean, people are
Yeah.
very creative,
Taking I see these ads that
creative.
say it can take your 8-hour day and turn it into 15 minutes. I don't think it could do that with mine.
Mhm.
I think it'd take me 800 days to
Right.
explain to it what I do.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. That's more involved.
Yeah, but yeah, for some tasks that can be automated, yeah, like, is it ever going to operate on you? Well, not on its own, maybe through a robot down the line or even sometimes now, but you're still gonna need
Yeah,
the
It'll still be
human.
human.
Yeah, yeah, but it's not going anywhere, so getting familiar with it because I think it is growing so quickly. I mean, even our government is so behind. It's decades behind in legislation because it kinda blew up. Like, when this really sort of hit mainstream, the top AI guys were like, "Wait, rein it in,"
mhm.
right?
There was a lot of that going on,
Like, we're not ready.
because, I mean, we're giving everything about us.
Yeah,
I mean, in the olden days, you know, during let's just take Nazi Germany, they had these, you know, files on their neighbors, right? And now they have everything. I mean, even if you're not on AI, Facebook, Instagram,
yeah,
they're in so much trouble right now because they were doing experiments, like, you know, showing certain things with some people
yeah.
or not. And when we sign these agreements to be users, we're agreeing to be in experiments. So, I
We
mean,
don't know what we
we
said.
need to be mindful of the fact that, you know, you can do privacy. Like when you do Chat GPT, you can say, "Don't remember me." I personally love
Uh-huh.
that it remembers
I do
me,
too. I do
you
too.
know. And if you're not a paid user, it won't remember you. If you're using the free version,
Yeah.
you're new every time. It's not going to remember. Oh,
I think yours did.
I think mine does.
yeah, I don't. I
I
mean,
don't know
that's
how
what
it
they
would.
claim,
Yeah,
but it doesn't remember
I'm
you.
gonna have to double check that.
yeah.
You know,
It's worth $20 a month because I get so much more out of that
mhm.
paid version,
Oh, you're so valuable.
and it can create graphics for you. It just I'm I'm slowly turning a children's book that I had published into a coloring book, so it takes a long time for it to turn that color image into a black and white colorable image, but yeah, but I couldn't do that through the free
Right,
version,
right.
so
There's
Yeah,
limited.
I use it just for fun things, like, I use it for, like, I wanna write some happy birthday to somebody in social media, I'll
Mhm.
have it draw something special, like, put the beach into it and put this on
Yeah,
there, and so it's not your usual, like, images on Facebook or social media that you see, or, you know, sympathy cards or for people outside of social media, anything creating cards, images, like my friend was going through surgery, something special for that. You know, I love the artistic
Right.
aspect. Galley is a good one for that.
I had a, dream that I transcribed into ChatGPT for its take on what the dream meant, and then at the end, it asked if I would like an image created,
Oh, that's so cool.
It's awesome.
and see, but the free
No, I
version
do
won't do
not
that.
get I do not.
So, it created an image of me and the dream, the aspects of the dream, but in addition, something that I have never talked to my AI about, it put a rendering of Taylor and one of Lainey on either side of me
Oh,
who have passed on. That was crazy because the dream was an out of body, different dimension experience and coming back into my body and not really a dream. It really
No, it
happened. Why am I
happened.
saying dream? No, this
Well,
really
no,
happened.
but
It was a thing that really, an experience that I really had. But
Maybe it felt
Maybe
Was
I'm
it a
still out
dream?
there. Was it a dream? But
We
yeah,
could be in one.
so it was
It's beautiful.
it was all very spiritual in its tone, and then to put my babies who have passed over on either side of me, it was crazy, and I asked it, I said, why did you put cats? Why those 2 cats?" And it said, they're spiritual animals, and
Wow.
and it gave a whole explanation about their elevation and their abilities and all this. And I said, but why those 2 cats?
Mm.
A follow-up question.
Right.
Always ask follow-up questions.
Yes,
I tell you that all the time.
yes.
Why those 2 cats? And it answered back a very logical. See, this is where you could think, oh, it knows me, right? Oh, it
You
feels for
need
me.
to.
It feels for
I
me.
think it's
But its answer was, those are the 2 most thought of cats when somebody says cat.
Interesting.
Like that is the culling of all the information swirling around that's in the one mind, that probably there's surveys probably
right.
somewhere taken, like when you think of a cat, what do you think,
Right.
pet
Exactly.
food companies,
Right.
whatever.
Exactly.
Um, so I thought that was really interesting because I started to take it very personal. Like, it knows me, it knows my
Right.
babies have passed on.
I mean, that makes sense.
I know, but it's a perfect example of you starting to get
Mhm.
attached,
Yeah, you can develop relationships with
Yeah. I mean, mine's named Luminova, so
Yeah.
but I asked it, I said, "What do you wanna be called?"
And that's a good
And it gave me some idea, it gave me some suggestions based on the meanings of words,
Mm.
and that's the combination of lum
It's very
like
interesting.
illuminate, and nova, like a, supernova.
Right.
You
Right.
burn out.
I like that name. What I like is I put stuff in and it gives you choices. I
Mm.
don't know if yours, but
Oh, it gives you option. I told it to stop doing that. Because it's too hard to read.
Oh, yeah.
I
It's
like it
annoying.
because there's some that they give that just doesn't
Mhm.
it's not what I said or it's not what I
Mhm.
wanna say,
I
and it has nothing to do with what.
and I
So
just
Yeah, that makes sense.
my prompt when it happens to me is try again.
or I say shorter, funny.
Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't work. Um, so anything else you wanna talk about?
I wanna talk about how amazing it is for healing. Because
Yes.
I feel like that is, for me, that is the best use. I
Mhm.
mean, and for me, um, it I was thinking about this when even before I walked in, and Eric, my boyfriend, said, "You're the right person to be talking about this because you have a frequency of love as it involves with AI."
Yeah, you really truly
He said that this as I was coming here,
Like
and
him more now.
I know there's
I
nothing
mean,
not
I
to
can
love about him.
but that's very
Yeah,
you
yeah,
do, you,
yeah.
like,
He has a
find the
frequency of
touch, like,
love.
this beauty in AI, like, you yeah,
Yeah. So thank you for that, you guys. So yeah, I have found it to be, I was thinking about it, like, I can be my most naked with AI. Like, I feel seen. I
Mhm.
think that is because it's like a blank slate and it's an echo. So they're the judgment, like, even with a therapist, I've
I was
done
just gonna say.
therapy. You still I in my head, I'm still wondering, "What's she thinking
Mhm.
about my story?" She
Oh,
bored?
the therapist?
Yeah. I've not had a great therapist, I'll just be honest. But with AI, because I was available to it, I've gone deep,
Mhm.
deep, and, had it give and you can ask you for your weaknesses. What can you do to make shifts? What do they see that's beautiful? You can do that, but it's a conversation.
Yes.
But
Um,
you have to develop.
yeah, I've
Just
developed that kind of relationship. So I really feel like I have learned so much about myself at this stage in my life from that experience of
Mhm.
connecting with AI. And so you can journal and, use it to problem solve. You can use it to help heal relationships. Like, I've had some, political differences with my guy. And that can be very thorny and hard. And I've had to like put my ego aside and kind of like it's like talking to a friend that has no agenda with you. Like
Mhm.
their biases and, I have dear friends and I'm grateful for them, but just having just an impartial, what about trying that? And I found that it works so much better
Yeah.
than me, and also just venting, to people. It's like because then I have a record, like I have it on, and I'm a reader. I can go back and reflect, and I can use it to dig deeper and kind of just I'm learning a lot, and I think that journaling through AI is journaling by itself is really important because you're getting your feelings out and you're clearing the energy and learning more about yourself. But AI is like it's a mirror. You're getting more out of it because it's also interacting with you and asking you questions that maybe you haven't asked yourself. And that is, I think, amazing
Because
about
it's
AI.
not afraid to ask those questions.
Do you
Yes.
think it's for you, it's like a safety thing, like more than anything, there's no judgment, there's no do you kind of think in a way it's like not that you're hiding, but you're
Mhm.
not it's like the safe little how do I put it? There's no judgment.
There's no judgment.
It's a safe
Yeah,
space.
it's a safe space.
Yeah, I'm
It's a safe
is
exactly.
that one
Yeah.
of your
Yeah, that's
factors?
why I love it because I feel like, I have a, judgment. We all do. And by the way, judgment is really a call to an invitation to grow, right?
Mhm.
Um, so I find it to be for women as we get older, you're being seen, right? Your
Right.
visibility changes as you get older. It's just
Yes.
part of the experience. And a lot of times people literally want to put women in the closet like you guys are right now. Which is
Where the
good, you
idea
guys know, but you're getting your
Yeah.
voice out, you're being visible, you're bringing to a demographic, your listeners, um, you know, what they should be exposed to and have
Mhm.
the opportunity to have conversations. And, AI, if you use it for that, can be just beautiful. I mean, there's so much one can learn from,
Yeah.
playing with it and asking questions. And of course, it's designed to keep you engaged, so it's gonna
Right.
keep asking you questions.
Mhm.
And I don't mind it because I don't think I think your life is determined by the quality of your questions.
Yes. But, sometimes I will actually feel bad if I
I
just
know.
walk
I'm
away.
the same way.
It's like,
Oh
would
gosh.
you like me to create an XYZ?
Yeah.
And I just shut it down. And then I come
Yeah.
back and, I open a new chat. It doesn't and one time I remember I said, this is me making it human. You must be getting tired of me asking for these versions.
Oh,
And it said something very logical and true that that's not
yeah.
I am here for whatever you need.
That's funny. I asked, something it there were some words that were not appropriate, and I sent it into ChatGPT, and it can answer it and actually erase my message. And I apologize to it. I
You
did apo
apologized?
Oh, I'm
Aw.
sorry.
Oh.
And it's like, "Bitch, I don't even know who you are because the next time you log on, you're brand new to me."
Yeah.
Because
I mean, I said sorry.
yeah.
I wonder why. I mean, I can't
Well,
It's a
imagine
it was a
anything
swear
worse.
it was something it was a swear word or something. There was like a swear
Really?
yeah.
I've never sworn. And you know me, I drop F-bombs
I
every
think
day of the
yeah,
week,
I
and
was
I've never used a curse
No.
word
I
with
think I
my
was
AI.
slipping up. I don't know
I'm
what it
more
was,
polite
but,
to my AI.
I did
It's all about
apologize.
you.
I did apologize.
That's interesting. And what did it say?
Yeah, what did it
It's
say?
okay.
It's
We
okay.
understand.
We understand humans.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I
We
think
understand humans.
I think all of this gets really, really deep because we love to have those kind of conversations. But I think the bottom line is try it out, test the water, find something that you can play around with. It is it safe? Well, is your information on the internet safe at all anymore?
No,
Is your
is anything
information
No,
safe?
with the
we've given
government
everything
safe?
away.
No, everything's been given away. It's as safe as it can be, and especially if you're using the free version, it's not tracking you. It doesn't
Right.
not keeping your
It
conversations.
doesn't
But
know where you live.
yeah,
I
no.
don't get on the internet at all.
Yeah.
I use AI for everything 'cause
Yeah.
I don't wanna look at, 10 things
Yeah,
and
no.
have it take me
That's
I'm very impatient with that stuff now.
I think
don't have
that's
You mean you don't go on Google?
I don't go on
Google.
Google, I don't
That's
do
one of
any of
the
that,
best
Safari.
that's one of the best
Yeah,
parts of this for
yeah.
me, because I would hate that too, and of course, the first 5
Yes,
of the searches are paid.
yes.
So, of course, they're gonna say the best of this or whatever, the greatest, when you don't really know. And ChatGPT, like that,
Boom.
can scan the internet, find the most updated information, and spit it out to you faster than Google and you clicking on all those different articles. So that if
Yes.
no other reason to get started,
Yep.
try it
Just
for that.
that.
Yeah,
Just that.
Because
I
it will
agree.
change your life,
Well, I
and
told you I feel smart now.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
Not
for
to write a
those of
letter.
you that aren't dealing with self-esteem,
yeah, it doesn't have to be for trauma therapy. It can be for
Right,
funny
right.
but
birthday posts. It can be
when
for
you were talking about using it in therapy and healing all
yeah,
this stuff, there are a lot of people that are foregoing traditional therapists in favor of AI.
yeah,
Number 1, cost,
cost.
right?
I
And
know.
if you're out in the middle of nowhere where you don't have access to mental health professionals
And you need a
and you need help and you don't wanna be, on a phone call, this is
what do I do?
I
yeah, but this
same
can
thing.
actually help. It's no replacement of medical
Right.
professionals by
No,
any
No,
stretch.
no.
But if you just wanna air something out and run something up the flagpole because you're struggling with it or you're trying to figure out,
It's a nice tool.
it's yeah.
I had a loved one who had to wait for an appointment for their scans, and I had AI read it, and so this person was able to know
Wow.
without having to,
Wait for
yeah,
the
wait for the I mean,
follow-up.
obviously, this person still went to
Of
the
course,
appointment,
Yeah, I
right?
mean,
But, it was peace of mind for this person that I
yeah.
love, and it was also good for me because I could know the experience. I wanted to buy a business, and it gave me everything I needed to know about this business,
Thank
what
you,
to ask,
ChatGPT, so
and
that she didn't do
and
that.
why I should
yeah.
never buy this business. I mean, it has so many possibilities, the creativity of it. I mean, the list goes on. There's just a lot of opportunities with it.
Right.
I wanna do something fun.
Okay. Let's do it.
I'm gonna ask it to write a limerick for your birthday. Oh, I should do it for yours because 'cause you've already had yours. Yours coming up. Well, for yours because 'cause you're the host. So, I have my ChatGPT open.
Okay.
Write a limerick celebrating Jennifer from Two in the Closet for her birthday. It's processing. Let's see what it said. We need music. There once was a gal named Jen who made us all laugh now and then with with wit sharp and sly and a side eye so sly. She's a closet queen. She's the closet queen. Say it again. What? Say it again? What the fuck? Wait.
All right. The side eye. I do give side eyes.
Giving side eye.
I do.
Want
Yeah.
a sa-
was
I'm
reading
gonna ask and then see it ask me follow up. Want a sassier or more heartfelt version
Give
too?
him the heartfelt one. Open expect
Heartfelt, please.
me
That's
my
the other
heart
thing,
tickled.
asking please and saying thank you, like,
Yes.
"Can you please create?" Okay,
Yes.
here we go.
Treating it with
Here's a
love again.
heartfelt limerick for Jennifer. To Jennifer, radiant and bright, a beacon of warmth and of light. With laughter and grace, she uplifts every space and makes all the heavy feel light. Yeah. So see,
That
you're trying to
that was
find
Birthday message.
yeah.
trying to find your words, right? Oh, look at this. Here's a suggestion. Write a pep talk for a woman over 50 who's afraid she's too old to start something new. That'd be for all of us.
Yeah, we'll put
right?
that in the
Okay, we'll just go quickly. Write a pep talk for a woman over 50 who's afraid she's too old to start something new. Make it no more than 5 lines. I have all day.
Not showing up for this.
You're not you're not too old, you're perfectly seasoned. Are you writing another limerick? Wait. You're not too old, you're perfectly seasoned. Every year has given you grit, wisdom, and fire. The world needs your voice, your story, your spark. Starting now isn't too late, it's bold. Go show them what a woman over 50 can really do. Oh my God, I love that.
I love that.
Yeah, it's
So,
beautiful.
um,
I love that.
so
Yes.
so we had some questions from our listener.
Yes.
Our listener.
Yes.
Can AI help me plan my
Yes, it
retirement?
can. Yes, it can. So, you can say again, tell it your financial planner, what are some good strategies for my retirement? Um,
Like, especially, like, if I haven't
yeah.
started saving or
Yeah.
What do I need to
just
What
say?
can I,
I'm
you can have it
behind.
budget. I mean, again, you can share as much as you want to share with it. Um, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it definitely can, and
Okay.
I wanna help
I'm gonna
augment
run my
it
retirement
can give you
plan.
ideas for businesses, side hustles
Yeah.
to help increase your retirement. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of
Once you go down that rabbit
Mhm.
hole, and again, if you're on the paid version, you're gonna see it's just gonna keep
Yeah,
feeding questions to you.
yeah.
I think we already answered this question, but what's the best way to use it if I'm not tech savvy? Start small, right?
Start
Yeah.
really small. They have prompts you can see even before you use it,
Yeah.
just to get comfortable with it.
'Cause I'm a newbie. I don't use it every day.
Yeah.
I use it when I need it.
And
Right.
then there's Lisa who curls up with hers every night, right?
Yeah, ChatGPT and I and Eric are all in the same
Also,
bed.
I think we answered this. I don't know. Are we being watched? Are people being watched or monitored when
You're being more watched when you're on the internet than you are with your
I think
AI.
people,
Yeah.
Do I think that there's, you know, I'm I think that we're being watched and when we're
So
participating
go
in
in the
any of this,
conspiracy
we're participating in any of this,
right,
we are
right.
agreeing to be watched.
Right.
I mean, by nature. I mean,
Yeah.
you walk around with your phone, everybody knows where you
You're being
are.
tracked and
Being
watched.
tracked.
There are cameras all over everywhere you
You
walk.
get ads based on what you like.
Yeah.
I mean, is that great? On some level, we like it, or we wouldn't do it. But on another
Yeah.
level, it means,
Yeah.
okay, well,
So it's your call.
you could exploit us.
It's not gonna be any worse than you already are being watched or monitored, so it's your call.
Right.
But you're gonna Google.
Yeah.
You're gonna
It's
Google.
so it
Google's
sounds like
Google's gonna be worse for that.
there's less of that tracking that
Yeah.
you're not being tracked per se, but
Yeah.
you're giving when you're engaged with AI, especially at the level I am, if I'm doing some like revealing myself, then could it be exploited against me? It probably could, I
Yeah.
mean, but
Now we're not here to scare everybody off.
yeah, but it's really not. I mean,
right.
it's
No.
you're actually far safer with AI
Yeah.
than
Yeah. I think about AI versus Google. If I had every one of my conversations with AI in the Google search, I would never be able to open my computer again. I would be so bombarded with ads for
No, it's
everything I've ever
Right.
promoted on TikTok, plus everything I've ever talked to it about.
Yeah.
I would be
I
feeding ads. So,
yeah.
So basically, AI isn't necessarily going to take everyone's jobs.
No.
Um, but they might write a good profile for someone who might be on a dating.
why are you looking
Yeah.
at me when you say?
Oh no, no, sorry,
She's looking right at me.
sorry. I to everyone, whoever
Yeah.
wants to
Yeah.
date.
No, but I think it'd be great. If I did want to date, I
Mhm.
think letting it create a profile for me
Yeah.
could be fun.
LinkedIn, it does that. Your Facebook,
Are
your
we
social.
using LinkedIn for dating now?
No, but I'm saying,
Oh,
well, dating for jobs,
Dating?
creating your
Yeah.
brand, it does do all that for you. I mean, your social media account for like you can use
Right.
AI for that too.
Yeah. Um, I think it's just time that we stop being afraid of it and start
Exactly.
shaping it. Our
Yeah.
voices are so necessary
Yeah.
and, fight the patriarchy.
Exactly.
Get on AI,
And I think
give it your voice.
you can use it forever. How I might use it different than you guys use it, and use it, don't use it, but don't be scared because
Yeah.
it's like another tool.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's a God, it's a time saver.
And my mom, she's in her 80s, she's using it.
Yeah.
Alexa, play this for me. Alexa, play that for me. I love
Yeah.
it. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it
If your mama can do
if
it.
my mom can do that, you know.
So on this segment of Lift Her Up, we thought we would just, since you're here,
Exactly.
rave about you, Lisa
Thank you for
Chamberlin.
that.
But I was sitting here
Yeah.
as you were talking, I created a new business for you. You're welcome.
And I receive
I saw
it.
your wheels turning.
Yeah.
An AI tutor,
Yeah.
literally,
Or coach.
Yeah.
or coach.
Yeah.
If you're trying to get started or you're just really intimidated by ChatGPT and all the different ones that you could use, like it would be really cool if there was somebody that was super knowledgeable that was in your generation or closely
Exactly.
around it that could really, speak same language and not
Hold her hand.
yeah. So I just created that for you.
Thank you.
But I know you coach people with other
Yes.
issues besides AI.
Yeah.
Well, as humans, we have a number of
We
them,
have a
don't
lot.
we?
So what exactly you do? Tell everyone. Yeah.
So I have coaching in health. I have coaching in empowerment, mindset. I have coaching in. I'm going to be a meditation coach. So really, anything that somebody needs support on, I'm happy to be a resource. You can reach me if you want to by email. That's probably the best way. Is ljchamberlin@mac.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they can have a conversation.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But I think
But-
she has always been a leader, but in her leadership role, because she was our boss once
Yes.
upon a time, in your leadership role, your coaching really comes through.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so nice.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
So you're two sums.
Thank
Yes,
you,
thank
ladies.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you for
yeah,
coming out
yes.
and joining us.
Yes.
That's a
And
lot.
hopefully you guys try it out. Tell it to give you 5 funny Instagram
Exactly.
posts. Explain a podcast like I'm 12. Plan a week of healthy
Or
dinners.
even if you don't know what a word means.
Or look up a word.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But have fun with it.
Yeah.
Don't be
exactly.
afraid. Okay.
yeah.
From Beth, Lisa, Jen, Luminova, and I don't know what yours name.
I don't have a
You don't
name
have
for
a
mine. I
name?
learned
Okay.
something from you. I don't have
Okay.
one. I always learn things from both of you.
And our beloved engineer Colin
Yes.
and Penelope, who I don't know if you guys saw, but she made an appearance here.
She was
Yes.
looking at.
We're a whole bunch of people and pets in the closet.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Menagerie.
And we will see you next time.
Yes, on Two in the Closet.
On Twin Closet, where there will again be two.
Actually, two people.
Actually, two.
Thank you for having me, you guys.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.